Welcome to part 2 of a 4-part series that has been prepared for citizens considering running as a candidate for election in an Alberta municipality. Part 2 focuses on the different roles in municipalities and how they work together to achieve success. This series is meant to be thought-provoking and provide you with a broad overview of municipal government, the different roles in a municipality, what will be expected of you as a member of council, and the processes for running for council. It is important to remember that these videos are not a substitution for the legislation that contains election requirements. It is the election candidate's responsibility to ensure they meet the legislative requirements and deadlines for running for council. To assist in meeting those responsibilities, you can contact your local municipal office, review municipal election information on alberta.ca, and review the legislative requirements in the Local Authority Elections Act and the Municipal Government Act. This session will explore the different roles in Alberta municipalities and the importance of role separation and teamwork in achieving the municipal purposes described in part 1 of this series. Each municipality is governed by a council that is elected every 4 years. The Municipal Government Act clearly sets out that council's principal role is to fulfill the municipal purposes listed in part 1 of this series. This is achieved by carrying out the powers, duties, and functions given to them by relevant provincial legislation and by developing and evaluating municipal policies and programs. A council also has the very important role of appointing and supervising its only employee, the Chief Administrative Officer, or CAO for short, who is responsible for carrying out the policies and programs council wishes to see in the community. The MGA is very specific about what conditions are required for a council decision to be valid. This supports the principles of accountability and transparency. First of all, when council makes a decision, it must be in the form of a resolution or a bylaw. This supports the principle that council acts as a governing body and not as individuals. The second part of this requirement is that bylaws and resolutions be passed at a council meeting that is open to the public. Giving the public the right to observe council decisions is not only important to the fundamental concepts of transparency and accountability, but also promotes public involvement. And the third part requires that a quorum of council must be present at the meeting. Quorum means the majority of all the councillors that comprise council. The MGA describes the duties of individual elected officials. The first is to consider the welfare and interests of the municipality as a whole, and to bring to council's attention anything that would promote the welfare or interests of the municipality. Even if councillors are elected from a ward, they must fulfill this duty, which may require finding a balance between what their constituents are asking for and what is best for the municipality as a whole. In municipalities that elect their councillors from at large, local groups may lobby council for their particular special interests, but the well-being of the entire municipality must still be considered when these issues come to the council table. The second duty is to promote an integrated and strategic approach to intermunicipal land use planning and service delivery with neighboring municipalities. This takes the form of intermunicipal collaboration frameworks, which are essentially service delivery agreements with neighboring municipalities. Other duties in this list include taking part in the development and evaluation of policies and programs, participating in council and council committee meetings, obtaining information about the operation or administration of the municipality from the CAO, and keeping in confidence matters discussed in private at council meetings. An additional duty is to adhere to the code of conduct established by a bylaw that every municipality is required to have. This bylaw governs the conduct of council members and includes topics such as representing the municipality, respecting the decision-making process, and treating other councillors, staff, and the public respectfully. There are also additional councillor duties that are imposed under other legislation. For example, the Emergency Management Act and regulation requires elected officials to take certain training that equips them to deal with emergency situations. Depending on your municipality, the chief elected official, otherwise known as the mayor or reeve, is either appointed from within council or is elected at large through a separate ballot. The CEO has all the same duties as councillors and presides at council meetings, unless a municipal bylaw says otherwise. There can be a strong public perception that a mayor or reeve holds more power than the other councillors, but they only have one vote like everyone else. A municipality can also impose other duties on a chief elected official by bylaw. Running a municipal organization is a complex and sophisticated undertaking and involves operating dozens of distinct functions. Even in smaller municipalities, professional management is required. Subject to broad council oversight, the job is best entrusted to those with the professional training and career experience to do it competently. The CAO is the sole employee who reports directly to council, and as such, they are the head of the public service and accountable for the operation of the administrative apparatus of municipal government. Explicit responsibilities of the CAO are found in various sections of the MGA. The CAO is responsible to ensure the municipal policies and programs are implemented. They advise and inform all of council on the operation and affairs of the municipality. This can be done through CAO reports at council meetings and financial reporting. The CAO must ensure minutes are taken, records and documents are kept safe, and council is advised in writing of its legislative responsibilities. In the absence of a bylaw stating otherwise, the CAO opens or closes municipal accounts. And of course, the CAO also has other duties as assigned, which means any other duties that council may put in the CAO job description, and that may be required by other pieces of legislation. CAO responsibilities also apply to committees that carry out duties delegated to them by council. The CAO is also responsible for oversight and decision-making related to administrative staff, unless the CAO has delegated management to a designated officer. This means that while council is responsible for setting the overall budget, it is the responsibility of the CAO to determine staff salaries within the approved budget and potential termination of employees. The CAO is also bound by the provisions of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act when it comes to the staff under their supervision, and they should not release protected information about their employment. Councillors have the duty to obtain information from the CAO about the operation or administration of the municipality. Section 153.1 requires the CAO to provide information to all of council. While the CAO does not have to be the expert in every aspect of municipal operations, it is not uncommon in small municipalities for the CAO and likely a public works employee to be the only municipal staff. In that instance, the CAO is a master jack of all trades, juggling many different hats to fulfill their role. Development officer, chief financial officer, bill collector, recreation manager, FOIP coordinator, contract and capital project manager, recording secretary, and the list can go on. One of the largest challenges is ensuring elected officials do not overstep their place in the structure in what many like to call just being helpful and start to take on duties of administration. It is very important a separation of roles is maintained. The success of a municipality is reliant on a strong relationship between council and the CAO. Council provides direction and establishes policies and programs through resolutions and bylaws. Key policy-making activities for council include the development of a vision, the adoption of community goals and objectives, the adoption of land use plans, decisions about which programs and services will be provided by the local government and at what level, and the adoption of budgets and capital plans. Council determines the what. The CAO and their administrative team provide advice and ensure the decisions and directions of council are implemented. The how it gets done is delegated through legislation, bylaws, and position descriptions to those hired with the background and training to make it work. Council and administration rely on each other to focus on their own roles while working as a team. They can support each other to ensure the success of a municipality. Let's not forget that the public also has a role to play in the success of a municipality. There are several ways in which the public plays a part in governance and holds their council accountable. They participate in the election of their local representatives on council. They can attend council meetings to observe the decision-making process. They bring forward their concerns to council or the CAO. They may volunteer for committees with public appointments. They may submit petitions to council that could result in public votes on certain types of issues. They ask the municipality for information or request to view municipal records. They provide their input to council by participating in public engagement opportunities such as open houses, surveys, or focus groups. In the municipal context, council, the CAO, and the public each have their own piece of the puzzle, but it's still important that they are able to recognize they are members of the same team, ultimately working together for the benefit of their community. This includes achieving the municipal purposes that were discussed in part 1 of these series. Each group has a role to play in ensuring the municipality makes consistent progress towards its established goals. Success depends on the elusive secret ingredient called teamwork. People are the essence of any organization. How they get along or don't will influence the results achieved. Who's on the team? The public, council, and CAO all play an important role in ensuring the municipality is moving in a forward direction together. For additional resources on local governance, the role of council and administration, and local election requirements, please contact your municipality or view the following resources available online: the Local Authorities Election Act, the Municipal Government Act, the Municipal Government Resources webpage, a candidate's guide running for municipal office in Alberta. Additional resources include Municipal Affairs Election Overview webpage, the School Board Elections Guide, the Rural Municipalities website, and the Alberta Municipalities website. Thank you for watching part 2 of this 4-part series. You can find the remaining videos in this series on alberta.ca.